Check, check, check. See about that. Wonderful. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Office Hours, which is my live stream series where I answer questions about camera things or being a camera person, being a full-time freelance camera person. If you got questions, drop them in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, drop them in the comment section, and I'll get to them when I can. I try to do this most Sundays. I don't really have a set time. It's just kind of on Sundays. I kind of take a crack at it whenever I can, and today it's really late. It's like 10:50, but we're doing it. We're trying to stick to it. I didn't do it last week because I was shooting a music festival and I was exhausted, and I was like, don't want to do that, so didn't. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to post little, there's like a community tab. I'll be able to post about it, and then maybe it'll be a little more perfect. But right now I only have like 80 subscribers, so we're just doing it for fun. And since we never really get any questions, let's just dip into Reddit, which is where I pull most of my questions from. And then I'm hoping one day it'll actually just be real people asking questions in the comment section. And maybe it could be yours. Also, the white balance in this is way off. I should have checked it. That's the wrong button. That's better. Is it better? I don't know. I look really sweaty because I just got done working out, but we're going for it. It's only going to be on the internet forever. No big deal. All right, first question. How do I get into commercial videography? This has been something that I've been trying to get help with for a while now, but it seems there aren't many willing to help. But here I am asking again, LOL. Would anyone mind giving me tips on how to get into commercial video? Currently a wedding videographer. I feel like that's the most common thing, is like a wedding videographer wanting to cross over, because shooting wedding videos is not great. And would love to start doing small business promos in order to help when wedding season slows down. Exactly. You and so many other wedding videographers. I've watched YouTube videos, and most of them say to just start reaching out to businesses and telling them how you can help them. However, I'm not even sure where to find those businesses. You don't know where to find businesses? Start with where you go. Like, where do you go? You buy stuff, right? Like, you have to buy stuff from places. What are the stores you frequent? Just go there. Like, where are you a regular? Like, is there a taco truck that you go to all the time that knows you by name? Like, if not, start hitting up all the taco trucks in town, man. Those taco trucks are way better than Taco Bell. Like, go try the taco trucks in town, and then talk to them and be like, hey, can I shoot a video for you? Like, no charge. And you make that video. That's really what it is how, if the question is, how do I do something? The answer is you do it and then you show people. And then if the doing it part is good enough, when you show people, they'll be impressed, and eventually they'll hire you for stuff. I mean, you obviously have to show the right people and you have to do the right things. There's way more nuance to it than that. But like, at the basis of it, if you're just cold calling nonstop and being like, I can make videos for you, here's the price, you're going to get nothing, especially if you've made nothing but wedding videos. People are going to look at it and be like, why would I hire the wedding video guy? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? So my advice to you would be, first of all, think about it this way. In commercial videography, a lot of times it's not just one person, it's a crew of people. So can you get in on a crew? What skills do you have? What are you really good at? That some crews might be lacking. Do you have lighting equipment? Are you good with audio? You could be a sound guy on commercial sets. You could be the grip. You could be the lighting guy. You could do hair and makeup. That's something, at least in my town, there's like no hair and makeup people. So if you got even kind of good at like hair and makeup for film, you'd probably have a ton of work. Because like here, like that's just not a thing. There's like 2 of them. So that'd be one avenue, is niche down super hard. Another thing you could do, turn this brightness up on this light, is to go with like ad agencies. Like, find local agencies that need people. Put this light on this side, it might look better. Oh, that looks way better. Local ad agencies that need people, like that would be something you could try. And nonprofits like always need video stuff, like always. They always need video stuff. Hit up nonprofits that you care about. Like, there's got to be at least 10 nonprofits in your town that do things that you care greatly about and that have no money to make videos. Go make videos for them, because I'll tell you what, the people that volunteer at nonprofits tend to be connected. They tend to know people that have money. And so if you make videos for people that like know people that have money, they'll pass your name and be like, oh, that guy was great. Like, you need a video guy? This is the guy who did ours. He was amazing. Like, so that would be another avenue into the business, so to speak. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's no one right way. Okay. Good beginner project. I've been interested in videography for a really long time, but haven't put in the work to develop skills with it. I'm wondering what a good project for a total beginner might be that would be engaging, but also maximize utility in terms of what I could learn from it. I am interested in nature, as well as capturing human emotions and humanity psychology. You sound like a sociopath. I'm going to put that out right now. Like, what type of project for a total beginner would be best to learn the most? Document events. Like, what's happening in your town? Like, there's something happening in your town. Guaranteed. This upcoming weekend, find out what it is, find out something interesting, an event, pay to get in, bring your camera, shoot some clips, get the intro shot, get 5-10 amazing, cool shots, maybe try to interview somebody if you can, and just be like, hey, I'm, trying to make these videos, and put something together from it. There you go. Boom. First video done. There's no stress because you're just coming into it. You're just like, I'm just learning. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to show anybody. If it sucks, you never show it to anybody. You don't have to edit it if it sucks. So that's one way of doing it. Another thing, there's a filmmaker exercise. I mean, there's a lot of filmmaking exercises, but one specifically is called a 5x5, where you do 5 shots that are 5 seconds each and that tell a story. So you could do those about fucking anything. So, think about that. That's an option. You can make a short film that stars only you. There's a lot of, I feel like there needs to be, one of these days I'll make a video about that specifically, like how to make a short film. You don't have actors. Do it yourself. A really easy thing is think about like a voice on a phone. Like, I know there's like a Black Mirror episode that's kind of like that, where like a voice on the phone is blackmailing some kid, and then he finds all these other people that are blackmailed. You could do just a really shortened version of that as, maybe you're a spy, maybe you're a radio DJ, and there's a caller on the other phone, and there's a mystery and intrigue, maybe you're stalking somebody. You think about a movie like Following. If you haven't seen Christopher Nolan's Following, there's only like 4 actors on that, like that are, the rest of them only have like 1 or 2 scenes, and they're not that important. So that would be another way to do it. Go look up, director's commentary for Following and listen to what Christopher Nolan has to say about shooting things. I think they took like over a year to shoot that because they just shot on the weekend whenever Nolan had money for film. And that's all the money they spent was only on film. Like, that's the entire budget. And the film turned out pretty good. So that could be another way into it. It really just kind of depends on your goals, what you're trying to do with videography. I guess that's the other thing. You can maybe work, kind of reverse engineer where you want to go, and then baby step towards it. Looking to start a portfolio website. Should I go with Wix or Squarespace, or any other recommendations? I'm curious what people say. I would say never go with Wix, because especially if it's like Wix, like I feel like nothing seems more unprofessional than like your name.wix or .squarespace, like anything like that. Like, you want the official name, like yourname.com. Like that's as professional. I feel like I have to sneeze. There it goes. Okay. So to that end, like, I don't know if you can do that with Wix. If you can, sure. I feel like Wix is kind of expensive for what you get. This person says, check out Format. I use Format. It's been good. He said, use Squarespace because Format sucks. I have a WordPress backend, and I paid somebody in Headshots, and they did it for me in like 15 minutes. It's really basic. If you go to my website, bensemish.com, I also haven't updated it in like 2.5 years. Probably should do that. So the moral of the story there is, you can make a portfolio website, but like, I had no shortage of work over the last 2 years, And, people look at my website sometimes and mention stuff on it. But I think having the website is, like, I think that's one of those things that people put in their head is like really important to have. And it's like, not really. Like, if you can just have a place people can see your work, and that might even just be a YouTube channel or an Instagram or something, that usually satisfies enough. But other than that, it's like, I feel like it's mostly just like referrals, word of mouth. People saw what you did for somebody else. Like, so getting that ball rolling is the hardest step. And that kind of goes back to that first question where I said, like, think about trying to get on crews as opposed to going out for yourself. You might have a lot easier time getting started doing it that way. And then you can network out. The crew gets to know you, and then they recommend you, like, hey, here's a small budget advertising thing, small business. And then they know the guy who was the drone operator on this other commercial. And they're like, oh, talk to this Ben guy. He's great. And there you go. I think that's how business works. Just, you got to network. This one just says, I apologize, but I am that guy. I'm the guy who's read the FAQ and still can't figure out what to buy. So I'm an electrician, and my company put me in charge of social media, post, and the website. They want to do video content where we would go up to the guys on site and do like mock interviews, talking in the trucks, lighthearted stuff. So as things go, the bosses are, you bought a Rode Video Pro shotgun mic and want to buy a camera that I can use. I know. The budget is $500 to $1,000. I want to stay with solid brand names. If you're doing social media, stick with the phone, man. Learn how to use the phone. Learn how to plug that microphone into the phone, because you can do it. And learn how to use kind of the phone editing apps. That's going to make your life way easier. You can also get like Rode Wireless Go's, the little lapel mics. Those might give you better audio. But if it's just for social media, I don't think I'd go too crazy getting a real camera, because you're going to have to just flip it anyway. And it's the form factor of holding it sideways is going to be weird. Oof, I'm so sweaty because I worked out. Shouldn't have worked out, then did this. But yeah, just use your phone. That's what I would say. I feel like I say that a lot in this, but I'm like, a lot of people are overthinking it. Start with your phone, and if it grows from there, great. But if it doesn't, then you didn't waste your money. Beginning/amateur, where to learn? YouTube. Pretty familiar with the camera for a while now, mainly with film photography as a hobby. I'm interested in learning videography in order to make documentaries, music videos, event recap videos. Looking for pointers. Make something, show people. Get feedback. Make more things. Show more people. Get feedback. Make more things. It's just a cycle. Then till you die. Just keep doing that till you die, or you get sick of it. So yeah, just start making those documentaries. How long does a DJ club videographer usually stay at the event? Depends on how much they're paying you. Yeah, because it's like, it really depends on what the job is. Like, do you just need 15, 30 seconds? Like, show up at like 11:30, midnight, and then shoot, for a half hour, and you're probably good. If you're trying to go once and then shoot a bunch of content, you could probably get a month's worth of content in 2-3 hours. It depends, like, are they going to pay you for that whole time? Are you getting drinks that whole time? Are you a single man or woman who could flirt with the clientele of the bar? Because that was something I did when I was young and in my 20s. I shot nightlife photos, and it gave you a really good excuse to talk to all the pretty girls. So there's that benefit. Other than that, I mean, you could get it done in a half hour, realistically. But if they're going to pay you, then hang out, get some free drinks. That's what I would say, because they're probably not paying you very much. If my experience is anything like most people's experience. Oh, let's see. More questions. Let's find some more questions. This is under discussion. How do you network with rich people? I'm moving to Atlanta. Moving to Atlanta from Detroit for a fresh start. I want to get clients that are rich. Been shooting stuff for broke people that literally can't pay over $500 last 2 years. I just don't know where to go where I'll run into rich people without having to be rich myself. I think you just kind of nailed it a little bit. Is like you have to network into that world. Like, I mean, that seems mean to say it that way, but like, how do you network with rich people? I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where like people that are like legitimately wealthy can sniff out bullshitters because they just get bullshitters coming up to them all day long. So if you're going to go into it with that mentality, I don't think you're going to do very well unless you're a sociopath. Um, so the better route to go would be to find causes you legitimately give a shit about and go help them, because the people that volunteer for nonprofits tend to be well off or tend to be networked, tend to be older, and they have their network established. Maybe they're retired and they're looking for something to do in their free time, trying to give back. And those are the kind of people, that's kind of how you network into the upper echelons of like, oh, this kid down at the dog sanctuary, he's great with video. Like, give him a chance. Wilbur. I don't know why their names are Wilbur. Probably not, but so that'd be one way of doing it. But if you're going into it with like just salesman shark attitude, you might meet a couple people who like your moxie, but most people are going to smell at your bullshit and they're going to not be interested. Using other videographer / cam ops footage on your show reel when you produce the whole project. I've been a solo videographer for 7 years working under my own name, but recently changed it over to a proper company name. Finding myself organizing, producing a lot of interstate and overseas shoots, and I'm starting to use different wording on my website, aiming at more of a nationwide video production company rather than a local videographer. My question is it okay to use footage the other people have shot on projects you produced? What was your contract like with those people? Is it okay to do so without asking the person who shot it, or just good etiquette to do so? I would say it's good etiquette to do so. 99% of people are going to say yes. In the future, get the contract that says it's work for hire and you own the footage, because that's going to be very important. If you take a big client and you don't own the footage, and the person who shot it, which is technically the person who pushes the button is the one who owns it, according to U.S. copyright law. We got someone here that said hi. Well, hello, Softy, Soft, and Kiwi. Hello. Do you have a question? If you have a question, drop it in that thing. Otherwise, I'm going to keep answering from Reddit. Let's see. More questions. I just realized there's an edit button on the live stream. I wonder what that does. I'll have to play with that later. What's your favorite color in food? Oh, favorite color, black, probably. If that is a color. According to some people, that's not actually a color. Favorite food, burritos. There's a place in Omaha, Nebraska called De Leon's. They make the best burritos. I don't know if they're the best, but they're the best in town anyway. More questions. What to do when you lose the fire in your belly? Nice. Right? Burritos are nice. I run a freelance video production business. When I started, I was so damn motivated. I would spend hours upon hours color grading. But today, a client showed me a video I made for them 2 years ago, and my jaw dropped. Saw how much effort I used to put in. There came a time when my business, dollars and cents rather than passion and love. Ironically, my latest work. Has anyone experienced this? Yeah, because I think someone say hire someone. So basically, this problem is this person is saying they've kind of lost their passion for it. And the solution, I would say, the biggest tip I can give you, something I've kind of only learned myself in the last year or so, is that you need to disengage your identity from being a creative. Like when you start, like in your full-time freelance, you're like, this is my thing. This is what I do. It's cameras. And if you go into it with that attitude, a million miles an hour, you're eventually going to have a bad time. But if you start to like separate out your identity and that's just something you do and you want to be good at it, I think that helps to have passion, to be like a good boyfriend, a good girlfriend, good husband, wife, a good, like for me, it's hockey, like to be a good hockey player, a good person on the team, to be a good photographer, as well as good video production person. If you kind of have all these passions, your identity isn't so wrapped up in one thing. And I feel like you can kind of, you don't burn out as easily, I feel like. Because I think what it comes down to is you're burning out, and how burnout seems to come is like you're putting in a lot of work, but you're not getting the results. But I think if you diversify your identity, you get results from all these little things, and those small wins keep you invested, and having different things to bounce around keeps you interested and challenged, and you don't hang up on one thing. So that'd be my advice, is to find a hobby. Ooh, let's see. More questions. Are camcorders still relevant? Yeah. I would say despite having a much smaller sensor, camcorders are much more convenient than MILCs. What are MILCs? And in shooting of documentary, the zoom range is great. Also, most modern professional camcorders has IR shooting modes, handy for ghost hunting and such, which isn't really a thing with MILCs. I don't know what an MILC is. Mirrorless something? You can comment below if you know what an MILC is. I've never heard that term. But I would say camcorders definitely have their place. Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to shoot videography, you want a cinema camera, which is kind of like a camcorder, I guess. I guess what I'm shooting on now is a camcorder, but they're different. What is my dream job? That's another question. I'll get to that. But some camcorders. I think like if you're filming sports for recap footage, if you're filming like a long wedding, if you're filming events, there's a lot of good places for camcorders. If you're doing documentaries, a cinema camera, like what I'm using, an FX6 or the Canon C100s, an FX3 is another Sony one. The Blackmagic pocket cameras, all those are good choices. I guess those are camcorders. I don't really know. What is my dream job? I think my dream job is to just make stuff. I think that's the goal. Is I want to do YouTube full time would be great. To just kind of help people. Like if I could do YouTube part time, and that paid some bills, and then I had like a decent steady amount of work part time where it was crew work specifically, because I don't really like to edit. I like to edit photos, but not so much the video side of things. So I would say like kind of almost exactly what I'm doing now, really. I just wish I had a little more work on the crew side of things, because I feel like a lot of my stuff is like one-man band stuff, and it's fun, but like I like working with crews a lot more, especially if it could be like the same crew. I did that for a couple years, and then the crew kind of broke up, and I was like, oh, we're getting used to each other. It was like it was like working with your friends. It was great. More questions. Looking for more questions. How long have we been going? 23 minutes. This is going to be a shorter one because I have so many photos to edit right now. I have like, my backlog's like 15,000 photos. So I'm like, it's going to be a long week. Okay. Let's see. Need help? Best vlogging camera dirt cheap. Use your phone. I feel like that could just be an answer for so many things. Use your phone. Phone. Do what? I'm just getting started. Phone. Use your phone. The phone is good enough, especially for vlogs. Vlogs that no one's going to watch. Trust me. Driving tour videos. Hope everyone is well. I'm looking to start a YouTube channel in which I record driving tour videos. I'd be driving around my state recording videos, looking for 4K waterproof video camera I can mount to the hood of my car. GoPro. Yeah. I don't know what other thing other than a GoPro would be. This person just put E in the thing. I don't know what that means, but yes. EFG. Yeah. If you want to mount it to your hood of your car, there's not a lot of good options. Get a GoPro, get like the super suit thing that goes around it so that if any rocks come up, it doesn't bust the lens open. And then the suction cup. Get the official GoPro one and then add some tape or something to it just to secure it, maybe a safety cable, and then hit the road. That'd be my advice. Or you can use a drone, would also work, I suppose. Do you guys always use S-Log3? No, I think right now this is on S-Cinetone, and it looks pretty good. So that's easy. Can't do a lightning round now. I need a camera to shoot my daughter videos for Instagram, YouTube. Looking for a camera, 4K, low light, autofocus, good colors. Use your phone, buy some lights, buy some audio. Done. Because like the camera's fine. Don't like why does it need to be good in low light with good autofocus? Put some lights in there, and then it doesn't need to have great autofocus or be good in low light. Done. Use your phone. Get some lights. They're way cheaper and they'll last you way longer. If you think a lot of questions on the subreddit are like, what camera should I get? I have $100. And you're like, a job. That's what camera you should get. Because use your cell phone, get a job until you have money to buy a better camera. You'd probably need, I would say if someone asked me how much money you need to like get into making videos, I'd say like start with your phone and then get a side hustle. During that process, you're going to need at least $1,500. Is volunteering a good way to build experience? Yes. I just finished getting a certificate in video editing and production this spring. I know the basics of videography and have built myself an equipment setup approaching something semi-pro. However, I'm still pretty far from working professionally or even doing freelance work. I really want to build experience and hone my craft. I'm working on creating a YouTube channel where I do video essays, mini docs. However, script writing and research are the biggest components in that, not necessarily filming. Depends on how you do it, man. You could go over the top filming that shit. I am just trying to film things around the neighborhood. It helps, but doesn't really take me out of my comfort zone. Have y'all had any good experience with offering to do volunteer work? Yeah, and sometimes they even pay you, which is amazing. So just keep making stuff. Make stuff, show people. Make stuff, show people. Make stuff, show people. Take in the feedback, make better stuff, show more people. Do it till you die or you get bored. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's way more nuance than that, but like at the end of the day, if you just write that down and burn it in your brain, I need to make stuff, and then I need to show it to people, and then I need to listen to what they say. And if it's stupid, I can disregard it. But if it's great, then I'm going to absorb that, and then I'm going to make more stuff with what they said, or make more stuff in spite of the things they said. If they hated something and you're like, that's fucking dumb, I'm not listening to them, then make the thing that they hated and make it 10 times more and be John Waters. Done. You could be John Waters. You can make the next Crybaby. Or that guy made so many weird fucking movies. And I'm here for it. John Waters is great. If you don't know who John Waters is, look him up. Watch all his movies. Watch Hairspray, the first one in the 80s. Fucking weird as shit. And then realize that they made a stage show based off his weird-ass movie. And they made a bubblegum movie based off the stage show, which was based off the weird movie. That's how things work sometimes. More questions. Really, the bubblegum version of Hairspray is pretty weird, too, if you think about it. Because it's got John Travolta in drag, which is awesome. That's such a good movie. I love it. The bubblegum version is so good. It takes away a lot of the message of the original, but it's good. I like it. It's a good popcorn movie. It's good, and it's family friendly. Oh, let's see. Just got a client to shoot a music video in a few weeks. Any tips or advice? Get the money up front. Because if you're making a music video, chances are you're making any other kind of music video, you're probably going to have to like pay to rent stuff, and there's a good chance those musicians will not pay you. Ask me how I know. So that's my advice. Get the money up front. More questions. Anybody shake their head and laugh when you see so many people doing phone video vertically? No. You want to know why? Because that's how apps like TikTok and YouTube Shorts want the video. So, and Instagram Reels, like there's a whole platform for vertical video. So like you can disagree with it and you can think it's dumb, but that's the thing. So, I mean, get used to it. You're going to have to start shooting things sideways because people are going to want, like, can you shoot this for an Instagram reel for our wedding? Sure. Honestly, realistically, if you think about this, here's for wedding videographers. Hire somebody specifically to capture reels and upcharge for that. Be like, this guy's going to do reels and TikToks Like they'll even use your phone, so like you can post them right away, and they'll use our lighting and our system, and it'll be beautiful and it'll be amazing. And you can post them right away and get that validation, those likes. And it's, how much is that? Extra $300? I don't know. Extra $500? You make the price. It depends on your market, really. People would pay for that, I'm sure. Depending on if you got, as you go up the tiers of higher end weddings, people would pay for that. Emergency, all caps. This club that is interested in my work, this is not an emergency, would need ads to run all day on their TVs that they have inside. I have 2 hours before meeting with them. I need to confidently be able to explain how I could handle it without an issue. Do I loop the same vid pics a bunch of times? How is that an emergency? And they just have TVs that they're running ads all day. I mean, yeah, it's going to just be a loop of event info. That's all they ever play on the bars that I go to. Like, there's a drink special, this on Friday, this person. Unless they want you to figure out the tech end of things. And then if you don't know what you're doing with that, then I wouldn't fuck with it, because you're going to get a lot of phone calls at like 1 a.m. and be like, come fix it, it's broken. And you're going to be like, great. And they're not going to pay you very much for that. Like, your piece of shit thing broke again. Tips and tricks for gaining clients. Seems to be what a lot of people are about. Any tips or tricks to starting a video production company, freelancing, and how to go about gaining clients? Besides having a good portfolio and website, what are other ways someone can get clients? Not just asking for myself, but it feels like it's good for beginners. Let me ask it for yourself. I mean, it depends on what kind of stuff you want to make. Like, what do you want to make? That's the big deal. Like, do you want to shoot commercials? Do you want to shoot food stuff? Do you want to shoot high school recruiting videos? Do you want to do anything and everything? I mean, you don't want to do that. You can't be everything to everybody. You're not going to make any money. I mean, you really got to niche down. It's probably the best advice I can give you. But the second best advice I could give you is that you need to make things that make people money, and you need to make them for people that have money. That's it. It's, if you want to succeed, if you want to be successful, if you don't care about craft or any of that shit with video production, filmmaking, photography, you just want to make money, that's your in goal, out goal, don't do this, because you're not going to make that much money. I mean, you can, but like, you have to give a shit. You have to give a lot of a shit. But if you want to do this and make a lot of money, like doing this is most important, making money is second most important, then you need to make things that make money for people that have money. You need to figure out what that is. You need to figure out who those people are, and you need to pitch them on it in such a way that it makes so much sense to them they can't possibly say no. Done. Because if people that have money, that want to make more money, will hire you to make the thing that makes them money. You see how that like works? And then you'll make money. Crazy, isn't it? Let's see. More questions. Where are we at? 34 minutes? We'll go for 40, maybe. Maybe we'll do one more. 1 or 2 more. We'll see. How do I ask for the rest of the videos? A videographer made a commercial for me and sent me those videos, but I want the rest of them too in case I want to get it edited later. So I want to ask, would that be allowed? Depends on what your contract said. Like, did you make a contract with them? No, then it's going to be up to them. They might charge you more money for it. They may charge you just the transfer time. I charge personally, and a lot of videographers disagree with it. A lot of them will never give you the raw footage. But for me, I don't care, because if you say like, we might get it edited later, like 9 times out of 10, you either A, not going to edit it, or B, not know how to edit it because you're going to try to do it yourself, and they're with weird camera files that probably won't play nice with whatever random editor you pick. So I'm just like, yeah, this is my hourly rate. It's going to take this long to transfer them and deliver them. and they either say yes or no to that. Some videographers will tell you no, they're not going to do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to give you stuff. In which case, make sure it's in your contract next time. It's kind of there's a shoot first question. You gotta ask that question first, unfortunately. So you might have to pay for it, is the answer, unfortunately. Wedding videographers, I'm new to this. Can I get some pricing help? To summarize what I'm looking for here, I have two general topics. One is general format for options instead of packages, and one is about the prices I chose. I made a wedding video for a friend for free. Since then, I've had 3 people ask me to video their wedding and have asked what my prices and options are. Here is the video I made for reference to my skill level. It doesn't tell us anything because we don't know where you're at. I'm just kind of scrolling around. This looks really low quality. There's like camera shake all over the place. I mean, you're not seeing it. The color's terrible. There's camera shake, like a gimbal error, like shots are going in and out of focus. They're zooming in the edit. So I would say nothing. So far, nothing. Your work's not good enough. I'm sorry. Don't charge money for that quality. In terms of my pricing, here's the breakdown of the options. Shooting time, choose one. And it goes 3 hours to 12 hours from $200 to $800, which is okay. I don't know where you get those numbers. Like raw footage on USB drive, $10 to $30. What? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants the raw footage of their wedding. I promise you that. Highlight film, 1 minute film, $100. 2-minute films, $200. 4-minute films is $300. That doesn't make any fucking sense. 7-minute film, $400. What? Where? How do you just? These are just like prices you pulled out of your ass. It feels like. Full ceremony, $100. That travel fees apply to distances over 30 miles. Toasts, $100. Dances, $100. So you'd shoot the full ceremony, toasts, and dances for $300. I mean, are these prices good, or should I adjust them lower or higher? I'm going to say the unfortunate truth is like your quality's not good enough, man. Get better before you start charging people money. Sorry to be the dick about that. But are those prices good? They're way below market value. And I think anybody that has shopped around and looked at what prices for wedding videographers are probably going to know what they're getting quality-wise. So in that respect, it's less than $1,000. I mean, I guess, but like, if you can't look at that and tell me that you don't think that's not great work, you have a bigger problem. So I would do those next 3 for free too, probably, and figure out things like color grading, figure out why your camera's shaking, figure out not to include the shake and zoom in the fucking shot. Whatever you got to do, and then tell them, you could just tell them this is the normal price and it's half off because I'm just getting started and I'm brand new at this. That's where I'd be with that. And then you're making some money, but you're still charging like at a fair rate for your quality. It's the unfortunate truth is like, but also, I don't know. For me, I'm like, weddings are important moments. Like, to capture them shittily, whether you have good intentions and you don't realize that your work is not great, or if you know your work's not great, but you're like, well, I'm not charging them that much. Like, I can't wrap my head around that because I'm just like, you should second shoot for some people that know what they're doing. I would take the price that you're charging, the $800, hire somebody who's got experience to be your second shooter to do the primary, and you job shadow them. That would be one. And then you don't get paid for the next 3, but you job shadow somebody that's really good. And then that's your film school. And I think if you watch somebody good do it 4 times, even twice, you'd probably get a lot of bang for your buck. And then your quality would probably 10x within 2-3 videos. That'd be my guess. Last question. Let's do one more, and then we'll call it. Rendering footage to save disk space. I've been filming some documentary-style footage with a few friends on my Blackmagic 6K. It looks amazing, but also takes up a massive amount of storage, of course, because you're shooting with 6K raw camera. What I would like to know is if I could load up the footage in DaVinci Resolve and sort out the footage to leave only clips of useful stuff. Sure. I would then like to render this out as a new video that now only contains the good shots that I can use to make a film with later. What kind of format would I choose to render this? I don't want to lose quality here, but save disk space only by getting rid of unnecessary shots. Then go through with like the file explorer and delete them that way. There's probably some other apps that are better at that, but like, I mean, data is so cheap now. Like, man, when to hear somebody say they need to save disk space in this era, I'm like, how big are those fucking files? Because I'm just looking. I'm like, this is just what's on my desk. And then on the floor, there's like 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. I mean, and that's not even all that's on my desk. I mean, I have, that's not this. There's still 2 more. Like, what? There's like 200 terabytes of stuff here. Like, it's so cheap now. What are you doing? Why are you shooting it so big if you don't know which? Like, go through with like VLC Media Player and watch back, and then delete the ones that are nothing. But don't do this render thing. It's not going to work well for you. You're going to regret it. I guarantee it. Buy another hard drive. Get a second job. Go work. Literally any fast food job will hire you. It doesn't matter what your history is, what your drug test is. They will hire you. Work for 2 weeks. Get that paycheck. Go buy a hard drive and then quit. And then you're set. That'd be my advice. Okay. That's it. That's pretty good. We answered some questions. Queued some A's. We actually had some live people asking questions. That was great. It was a new thing. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if any of this was interesting at all to you. I'm trying to do these every Sunday, most Sundays, I guess. And if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, then I can start being like, hey, I'm going to do a live thing at this time. Little announcements. Isn't that cool? In the meantime, you can also follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram at Ben Semish. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. In stream.